Good evening to everyone over there. So first of all, today under the guidance of our principal ma'am, Dr. Rashmi, I myself, Harpreet Kaur Sumra, and Mr. Chandan Khindriya from Police TAV Public School will be conducting today's capacity building program on competency-based education. So today I'm sure that all the participants and all of us will take away something new that always excites us, some change, a new change. We all know that change is part and parcel of our life. But the biggest question is, are we ready to accept a change? Without any change, our life becomes dull and bored. But if we are ready to accept a change, we have to be ready. We have to be ready happily and enthusiastically. For what exactly we all have been gathered here? We all are here today to accept one change. That change in our teaching methodology. As a teacher, as a guide, as a mentor, as an instructor, educator, we have been given a huge responsibility to make our future doctors, future lawyers, future businessmen, future engineers. And as a teacher, we can do a lot in it. Before I move to my session today, first of all, I would like to share a few lines from one beautiful poem. शिक्षक की गोद में उत्थान पलता है, सारा जहां शिक्षक के पीछे ही तो चलता है. शिक्षक का बोया हुआ पेड़ बनता है, वही पेड़ हजारों बीज जनता है. शिक्षक की महिमा महान होती है, शिक्षक बिन अधूरी हूं वसुंधरा कहती है. शिक्षक काल की गति को मोड़ सकता है, शिक्षक काल की गति को मोड़ सकता है, तो शिक्षक धरा से अंबर को भी जोड़ सकता है. It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to make our students future ready, to make them able to share their knowledge, to make them to fit for the today's world of tough competition. We have to make them ready to sit for the toughest interview. We have to make them to be able to have those skills and abilities. They should be able to show their skills. They should be able to show their abilities. That's what our today's students need in the today's world of toughest competition. We have to make them independent learners. We have to make them lifelong learners. For what competency-based education is. So let's move ahead with competency-based education. So let's have a look on the learning outcomes of today's webinar. I'm sure after attending today's session, our participants will be able to implement competency-based education in their teaching methodology. As this teaching methodology is outcome-based approach of education. So I'm sure that we all will be able to frame those precise and measurable learning outcomes. And once learning outcomes have been framed, learning outcomes helps us to select a suitable pedagogy, suitable teaching strategy, which should go with learning outcomes. And the very important part that whether our students have attained those learning goals or not, that we have to check them, we have to assess them. So we'll be able to create that assessment part which should go with our learning outcomes. And above all, we will be able to frame that perfect lesson plan which will integrate those learning outcomes, pedagogy, and assessment for the attainment of application-oriented competencies by the students. So let's move to competency-based education first. Competency-based education, same place, but with flexible path and pace. Before I begin with competency-based education, we'll be sharing with you one very small activity. Please go through that activity. Please see that activity very carefully. And here I would like to involve my participants in this activity also. Right? We have the baking soda and vinegar. These are two very common ingredients which are easily available in everyone's home. So as a chemistry teacher, all of us know that what is going to happen when we'll add baking soda. When we add acetic acid or vinegar में acetic acid है, so when we add acetic acid or vinegar to baking soda. Yes. Have you seen that activity? Yes. Has everyone seen that activity? Yes, all the participants. Yes. So one question I would like to ask from you, that what do you expect your students will learn after we have shown this activity to them? What our students will be able to learn after we have shown this small activity to them? There's just any one of you. I need your participation here.
They will be able to learn the reaction between acid and a base,
Yes.
evolution of carbon dioxide gas,
Yes, very good.
and carbon dioxide gases evolved with effervescence. They will also be able
Good.
to know.
Yes. Yes, anyone else? Yes. Please share your views, what you're expecting from your students they will learn. They are going to learn a lot from this very small activity. Have you seen that carbon dioxide gas that has been formed that is used to extinguish that burning mat splinter? So what does it show? It shows that carbon dioxide can be used to extinguish the fire. It can be used in fire extinguisher. We have to tell them this point. That is very important point. That carbon dioxide can be used to extinguish the fire. And the reaction between this baking soda and acid is the basis to make soda acid fire extinguisher. Try to link your topic to this. And moreover, you can give this activity to your students that you to make that soda acid fire extinguisher. And they are full of energy and enthusiasm, and they will show different designs of these soda acid fire extinguishers. So one another question is, what are the qualities that has been developed in our students after you have shown this activity, after you have cleared your learning outcomes? What qualities have been developed in our students? What they will be able to do? Yes.
Skill.
Skill. They will be able to make their own soda acid fire extinguisher. They will be
scientific skill. Scientific skill.
Yes.
And scientific skill.
Scientific aptitude. Yes, very good. Yes. See, with the help of this small activity, so many qualities can be developed in one student. This with small activity only, right? Do you agree that we have given that knowledge to the student that carbon dioxide can extinguish the fire, and he or she can share this knowledge with everyone outside the institution also, right? He is able to develop that skill, that ability. That student has developed that skill, that ability that he can use to make soda acid fire extinguisher himself or herself. So that knowledge, that kind of skill, that kind of ability we have to develop in our students so that they can share their abilities, they can show their skills, they can show their abilities, skill, and they can share their knowledge with everyone outside the institution, also anywhere in the life. We have to make them lifelong learners, self-independent learners. That is the need of today's education. That is a need of today's students, actually, I will say. Because most of the times in our classroom, students even don't know what they are learning and why they are learning. We have to tell them why they are learning, where they are going to apply that knowledge. They are not going to apply that knowledge only in their exam paper only. They are going to apply that knowledge in their life also. Anywhere, in any situation, they will use this information in their life. That kind of knowledge, that kind of skill, that kind of ability, and that kind of education we have to give. And that is nothing but competency based education. We have to develop the competencies in our students. Now, competency based education. CBA addresses what the learners are expected to do rather than what they are expected to learn about. Just as in this activity, you have seen that we have our learners, our students, they have learned what to do. They were able to make that their fire extinguishers themselves rather than what they're expected to learn from their books and notebooks and textbooks, because they are able to share their knowledge. CBA focuses on learners' mastery of knowledge, ability, and skills. We have to develop that kind of knowledge, ability, and skill that they can share their knowledge, they can show their ability, they can show their skills everywhere. As it is outcome-based approach to education, the students should be able to demonstrate their knowledge anywhere. वो कितने घर जाकर सबको बताएंगे carbon dioxide can be used as a fire extinguisher. They will share their knowledge. They can demonstrate it even at their home, because these are very simple ingredients. They are going to use their own soda acid fire extinguisher. CBE is broad and holistic approach, contrary to traditional learning approach, which follows the inconsistent principle that greater the content, greater the achievement of students. No longer they will be stuck to the textbook contents only. We have to take them away from that. They have to show their abilities that we have given to them, that we have developed them. CBA focuses on minimum required core content, and it is beyond the mere accumulation of knowledge from textbooks. No more they will be dependent only on the rote memory only on the contents which are given in the textbooks that they are learning, they are cramming, and they are writing in the exam just to score the exam. We have to take them away from that. We have to make them independent learners and lifelong learners. CBE, adapting to the pace of learning. Imagine if we could design the learning process specifically based on the competency for each student. The results of education would be monumental. How to implement competency-based education in our teaching methodology? That CBSE has given us the framework. That how can we implement? What are the different parts of this CBE? First of all, as already we have discussed, that is learning outcome. What is it that student should be able to do after student has undergone the learning process? Just as with small activity, we have discussed that what our students are going to learn. That was only a small activity. We can orient our education, we can orient our teaching method according to that only, that after every topic, our students should be able to learn such kind of things. Application-based learning. Then what is it that student needs to learn or know in order to demonstrate that particular set of learning outcomes? That is, there should be no curriculum. And to attain those learning outcomes, what are the teaching strategies, teaching methods we are going to adopt? What are the classroom transactions, activities that will become the basis for this kind of learning? That is pedagogy. And very important part is, how will the teacher check the learning, or how will the student demonstrate that learning? That is the assessment part. And how will teacher know at what level of learning student is? That is criterion referenced testing. And all this constitute competency-based education. Now, let us discuss all these parts one by one. Now, one of the component of competency-based education is learning outcome. As already we have discussed, that it is outcome-based approach to education. So first of all, we have to specify that outcome of the learning in the form of a specific statement, that it is a measurable, observable, and specific statement that clearly indicates what a student will be able to do as a result of learning. The learning described in outcomes encompass the essential and significant knowledge and skills which students should develop in a course. That learning outcome should be designed in such a way so that it should give that knowledge, that skill to the student that they can use it anywhere. In this process, students generalize their learning and integrate it with other areas of their lives outside the school also. Not only restricted to the walls of the school only, but outside the institution, in their lives, in their lifelong learners, we are going to make our students. They should be able to share their knowledge anywhere outside also. This helps them to learn the concepts in more focused and meaningful way. This is the change that we have to bring about. Such kind of learning outcomes should be there, right, for our contents that we are going to deliver to the students. So we have to frame the outcomes of learning very, very carefully. So what are the key points of the learning outcomes? First of all, how it differs from learning objectives. Very thin difference lies in who will be performing the activity. Learning objective describes what an instructor aims to do, what a teacher aims to do. While learning outcome, what a student must be able to do at the conclusion of the course. Just as in this activity, our students were able to make their own fire extinguisher. That should be our expectation of our learning process. For example, if we are writing, students will be able to write the differences between saturated and unsaturated solutions. Anyone can learn the difference, anyone can cram the difference and can write on the paper. That is learning objective. But if they are able to differentiate saturated and unsaturated solution, that means that is the outcome of learning. Now they are able to differentiate. They have not crammed, right? So it should be kept in our mind that we are going to frame that learning outcome. Now, well-written learning outcome. So this framework has been provided by NCERT. That simple rule for writing a learning outcome is an action verb or phrase plus object of the verb plus clause or phrase indicating the level of achievement plus context or conditions, if any. But before we go in detail with this simple rule for writing the learning outcome, so very important point is learning outcome should be clear, should be concise, observable, and measurable. Now, once again, I would like to involve my participants here. So any one of you who can explain that what is measurable and observable learning outcome? According to you, what are the achievable, observable, and measurable learning outcomes? Please. Yes. For example, just as the activity that we have shown here, so can you frame that what can be the measurable learning outcome of that activity, or any other point that you know what do you mean by measurable learning outcome? Yes, any one of you? Please unmute yourself and please, if you can share your views, what are observable and measurable outcomes?
Observable, ma'am, carbon dioxide is being evolved. That is the observable characteristic that we can observe during the chemical reaction, that carbon dioxide is being evolved.
Okay, yes. And what is measurable? Just keep it in your mind that learning outcome is simply the what our students is going to learn after that particular topic.
Nature of that is acetic acid.
Ma'am, what
Baking
are the
soda.
products? What are the products from like
That
salt?
is measurable.
Products formed, what are the products formed after the reaction is over? He or she will be able to write the reaction. That can
That
be
is
measured,
also
that can be
measurable.
assessed, that can be assessed, that can be measured, that can be achieved. So let's have some examples of these. If we are framing to understand osmosis, now understand is very broad term. How can a teacher can come to know that whether our student has understood the concept of osmosis or no? What is the criteria? Understand. We won't be able to come to know. Understand is not measurable, but instead we can write to define osmosis, right? If we are writing to know the types of solutions, how can we come to know that they are knowing the types of different types of solutions? But if they are able to differentiate homogeneous and heterogeneous solutions, that means they know the different types of solutions very well. Differentiate is measurable. We can assess it, but we cannot assess the knowledge. We cannot assess the understanding. We can assess the define. Definition assess की जा सकती है, measure की जा सकती है. To be familiar with the electrode potential, how can we come to know that students are familiar with the electrode potential? But if they are able to identify cathode and anode on the basis of the given values of electrode and electrode potential, that means they know what is electrode potential. So if they are able to identify, we can assess them. We can give them the activity or assessment that identify cathode and anode in the following on the basis of electrode potential. If they are able to do that, if they are able to identify that, that means they know what is electrode potential, where they are going to use that electrode potential. That should be measurable. That is measurable. That can be assessed by us. We can come to know that our students have gone through that concept. Similarly, to know osmotic pressure and to calculate osmotic pressure. So if student is able to calculate the osmotic pressure by using the formula of osmotic pressure which is given to them, so that means they know the concept. So we have to keep in your mind that action verbs that are not to be used while framing the learning outcomes, and what are the action verbs that can be used. So these are the action verbs which we have to avoid while writing the learning outcomes. That is understand, know, learn. How can we come to know that they have learned? Comprehend, appreciate, familiarize, realize, be aware of. We cannot measure these terms, right? So we have to use some tool that can be used to assess the student's achievement. So to frame learning outcomes, this Bloom's taxonomy can help us. We can take the use of Bloom's taxonomy to frame learning outcomes. So here we have different levels of learning in this Bloom's taxonomy, level 1 to level 6. And here we are moving from lower order to higher order, from lots to hots. So one thing I would like to clear you that while we are making the assessment, जब हम assessment डालते हैं तो उसमें we usually give the mixed type of the questions, right? So many some of the questions are remembering based only, that is define the following term, and some of the questions these are of higher level thinking questions. तो ये जरूरी नहीं है, it is not compulsory that we have to use all the action verbs which has been given in this taxonomy. और ये भी कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि we have to use higher order learning level action verbs only. that always for to frame learning outcomes we have to go to the create point only, evaluate point only, that higher level thinking की तरफ ही जाना है हमें हमेशा, because we have the mixed type of the students and we always give mixed assessment. और एग्जाम में भी जब क्वेश्चन पेपर आता है तो mixed type of question students always get, and here they get some questions which are remembering based, some questions which are analyzing based, application based. So depending upon the type of the topic that we have taken, if our topic is totally application based, so we have to select the learning outcome action verb according to that only, right? If we are going to frame the question which are remembering based, so we can select the action verbs from the recall based only. Describe the term, define the term, name, find, list the types of solutions, write the reaction involved. These are the remembering based, when learn karega aur likhega, right? While compare and contrast, examine, explain, that is analyze. And highest level is level 6. जरूरी नहीं है कि हम हमारे सारे ही students जो हैं वो level 6 की learning तक आ गए हैं, और whole class has been reached at level 6, that is creating is higher order learning level. That means कि our students should be able to create something new, completely new, original, right? So ये कोई वो, it is not compulsory that we have to use all the learning action verbs to frame the learning outcomes. So depending upon the type of the topic that you have selected, we can take the help of these terms, these action verbs from Bloom's taxonomy to frame learning outcomes. Now let us generate some learning outcomes using this taxonomy. One example has been displayed over here that contains STEM, action verb, learning, context. STEM, by the end of the topic, students will be able to, right? Which action verb I have selected from here? That is compare from analyze, right? Which learning part? Ideal and non-ideal solutions. Under what context? Using Rawls law. So my learning outcome becomes, by the end of the topic, students will be able to compare ideal and non-ideal solutions using Rawls law. Right. So now the action verb in Bloom's taxonomy has been displayed here before you, and here again I need your participation. So let us generate some learning outcome using the action verbs from this list. So by the end of the topic, students will be able to, yes, please select your any topic and learning outcome. Yes. Take any topic.
Students will be able to draw structures of oxoacids of phosphorus.
Yes, draw. Right. Anyone else? Yes, you can frame learning outcomes.
Any topic.
Any topic. जैसे मैंने यहाँ आइडियल एंड नॉन आइडियल सॉल्यूशन ले लिया, तो ठीक है, any of them.
Distinguish between orbit and orbital.
Yes.
Distinguish आ जाएगा जी.
हाँ, distinguish.
Categorize types of solution like this on the basis of disperse phase and dispersion medium.
Yes, very good. Yes, anyone else?
Distinguish between saturated. Identify various types of Laurel solutions.
Yes.
And their properties.
Yes, very good.
Distinguish between antiseptic and disinfectant. हाँ जी, अनु मैम की तरफ से है.
Categorize
Categorize
types of polymers.
Yes, categorize the types of polymers.
Name the orbitals
on the basis of their structure.
Yes.
Name
So,
the
yes.
Justify the formation of chlorine at anode during the electrolysis of aqueous sodium chloride.
Yes, very good.
जी.
Very good.
Then find the Van 't Hoff factor. The
Yes.
value of Van 't Hoff factor using Van 't Hoff equation.
Yes,
In the
yes.
case of the solution containing that is electrolytes in there.
Construct electrochemical cell. Construct electrochemical cell.
Yes.
name the orbitals present in the third shell of an atom.
Yes. So we can take help of Bloom's taxonomy to frame the learning outcomes. So I think we can make very standardized learning outcomes. So whenever you have to frame the learning outcomes, you can use this Bloom's taxonomy.
Harpreet ma'am, your voice is resonating, echoing.
Equing, yes.
Please
voice.
check if all the phones are. Yes. Now it is okay, ma'am.
Now
So we can
So
use
can-
this Bloom's taxonomy to generate the learning outcome. Just now, within 1 or 2 minutes, we have framed so many learning outcomes. So you can take the help. So whenever you have to frame the lesson plan, so you can take the help of this taxonomy, and that please take care that what kind of topic that we are taking. If our topic is only just simple topic, just it is remembering based only, we are going to deal with. So no need to use the learning outcome from create type. Higher order की तरफ जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. So just go through the topic that we are going to deal with the students. Depending upon that topic, we can select the action verb according to that only, right? So once the learning outcomes have been framed, learning outcomes helps us to select a suitable pedagogy, suitable teaching method. हमें teaching method अपने learning outcome के accordingly ही select करना है. Here it needs the shifting of teacher's role now, right? That is, pedagogy is the wide range of teaching methods adopted to achieve the learning outcomes, right? Now, pedagogy word has been derived from Greek word ego, which means guide, and pedi means child. So it is child-centered method it should be. Our teaching method should be child-centered. हमारा main purpose ही learner-oriented है. Studies have been shown that content should be learner-oriented. So before I move ahead with pedagogy, once again, I need your participation. And now you have to share here with all of us that along with your recorded lectures that you share with your students, what else you are sharing with your students. आप अपने recorded lectures आजकल भेज रहे हो, right? तो recorded lectures के अलावा हम अपने students को और क्या-क्या भेज रहे हैं along which assist our recorded lecture? Yes. Any one of you?
Videos.
Videos. Videos
PDF,
from
video,
Links of
audios.
videos.
links of YouTube.
No, audio of own voice.
Okay, that is our own recorded audio, है ना?
Audio as well as video also.
Yes. इसके अलावा और हम क्या भेज रहे हैं?
Notes.
Anything new?
Concise notes, flow
Yes.
charts.
PDF.
Notes.
Yes.
PDF notes.
PDF notes.
Then flow charts concerning the topics, so that
Yes.
it become easier for them to learn.
Yes. So now see, these are some of the suggestive pedagogical strategies we can use along with our recorded lectures now. See, these have been displayed here. These can be discussions. These can be group projects. These can be the use of OLabs, ePathshala, and Tata ClassEdge. See, this OLab word has been used. This is online lab. So online lab में बहुत सारे practicals हैं. So many practicals of different chapters. So many activities of different chapters are there on the site of online labs. So, but I would like to share here with you that just as in this webinar only, we have shown you one activity just by sitting here. We can do such kind of small activities at home by using the materials whatever is available to us. So my advice is, my suggestion is, अगर हम ऐसे ही activities हम बनाएं, collect your own activities, make your own online labs. आप अपनी online labs बनाइए, अपनी online labs create करिए, site create करिए और students को वहीं से अपनी activities को send करिए. So create your own OLabs, online labs. Try to do these small activities at home to send them, which should concern with the topic that we are dealing with. What are the other things that you can show to the students? So use this topic. So please, if you can implement it in your teaching methodology. ePathshala is for consulting the NCERT textbook. This full NCERT textbook is there. You can consult any chapter from ePathshala, right? And Tata ClassEdge, that in our school we are using Tata ClassEdge. We can share the videos of Tata ClassEdge with our students. We are discussing the quiz questions, and we are sharing the videos and so many other notes and lectures from Tata ClassEdge. We are using it. Other thing is blended learning with integration of ICT. Flipped classrooms can be there. Students should be allowed to present their own point of views, own views of concerned topic. उनको भी allow करो कि वो topic के लिए कुछ present करें अपना, what they are knowing, what they have gained. Computational learning based on logical reasoning, simulations. Simulations can be shown. So after this pedagogical strategies and assessment part, we'll be displaying here the sample lesson plan. Chandan sir will be sharing with you that lesson plan. So sir will show you the simulation part. How can you show the simulations to your students? So after this discussion of these topics, pedagogical strategies and CBE, we are going to show you one sample of simulation. What are simulations? We can show them the presentations, PPT बनाकर हम उनको भेज सकते हैं. Project work can be shown. Diksha app use कर सकते हैं. Use of Diksha app are the main teaching learning processes under this approach. तो आप अपनी recorded video lecture के साथ, audio lecture के साथ, PDF notes के साथ, see so many other things are available on the net. तो आप उनको यूटिलाइज करिए along with your teaching strategy. Now, our main purpose is to make our students independent, self-reliant, and lifelong learners by using variety of interactive methods, right? So anything from these pedagogical strategies, any strategy we can use for the achievement of learning outcomes. Last but not the least, that is the assessment part. Now we have to assess our students. We have to check our students at whether they have attained those learning goals that we have set for them, whatever we were expecting from them. So criterion reference assessments that measure the attainment of learning outcomes are essential feature of CBE. It involves objective as well as performance assessment. Objective assessment can include correct response items like MCQs, oral responses to questions, and short answer written responses can be there. While in performance assessment, focus remains on what learners can do with their knowledge, involving assessments of critical thinking. जैसे अभी हमने इस एक्टिविटी में देखा कि students will be able to make their own soda acid fire extinguisher. अगर हम कोई सेल का टॉपिक ले रहे हैं तो they will be able to make their own cells at home, right? So our teaching should be related with the real life also. In the real life, they should use that knowledge that we have given to them. हमारी जो knowledge है वो उनकी टेक्स्ट बुक तक और उनके एग्जाम तक नहीं रह जानी चाहिए. It should help them to use in lifelong learner. He or she should be able to show the skill, abilities, or knowledge anywhere in any situation in his or her life. That kind of knowledge we have to give our students. Now, before I move further ahead with the assessment, so rubrics of assessment. So before we give the assessment to students, it is very much necessary that we should give them the rubrics of assessment also. This is very, very important. Rubrics are typically used with assessments that are subjective type, that is presentations, paper discussions, portfolios, rather than objective type, that is multiple choice question, true, false, fill in the blanks. So why do you use rubrics? Rubrics make the instructor's expectations clear to the students. We have to make them clear that what are our expectations from them. कोई assignment दी है तो पहले उनको instructions देनी है, rubrics देने हैं, what we are expecting from them. अगर स्टूडेंट्स अपने हिसाब से कोई प्रोजेक्ट या एनी प्रोजेक्ट और एनी असेसमेंट और एनी असाइनमेंट अगर कोई स्टूडेंट बना कर लाए तो हम अपने अकॉर्डिंग टू अस और एक्सपेक्टेशंस वी आर ग्रेडिंग देम. तो बट व्हाई वी हैव ग्रेडेड देम? इफ वी हैव गिवन पुअर, above average, on what basis we are giving them? So before that grading given to the student, it should be clear to them what the teacher or instructor is expecting from them to write in the assignment, to write in the project, to write in the exam, to write on the paper. Rubrics show students how to meet the instructor's expectations, that what they need to do to be successful. Rubrics help the students evaluate the quality of their own work. तो अगर हम उनको पहले से ही instructions दे देंगे तो they can improve their quality of their work, that whether their work is meeting with the instructor's expectation or not. Moreover, one important point is if more than one evaluator is evaluating the same performance, it helps at that time also. It improves the consistency. Consistency रहती है, एक objectivity रहती है evaluation में. अगर हम rubrics clear हो जाते हैं, हमारे CBSE से जब marking scheme आती है तो it is clear with every question that how marking has to be done. तो अगर different examiners from different schools are checking the same paper, but consistency रहती है, objectivity रहती है, एक standardization रहती है, quality रहती है grading में. Students should not have any doubt that मेरे marks क्यों कटे हैं, मुझे A+ grade क्यों नहीं मिला, मुझे poor grade क्यों मिला है. It may reduce the time it takes to grade if there are similarities among comments made to students regarding flaws or excellence in a performance. They should know what his or her teacher is expecting from them. So rubrics को पहले हमें assessment से पहले उनको clear करना है. Okay, what are the rubrics of assessment? On what basis they will be assessed? So poor, minimal, sufficient, above average, excellent, intermediate, distinguished, unacceptable, satisfactory, excellent. So these kind of the grades we are giving to them. If any marks we are giving to them, any A+, A-, B grades we are giving to, on what basis we are giving to them, that should be clear to them. That is the rubrics. एक scale अगर devise करना है तो scale उनको बताना भी है. For example, हमने उनको project दिया है बनाने के लिए, तो grading of the project can be done as it is outstanding, or it is above average, it is average, it is below average, or it is poor. But on what basis we are giving them? Students should be clear, right? कि मेरे project में क्या कमी थी कि मुझे outstanding नहीं मिला, right? So जैसे उनको first of all we have to clear them. There should be theme of the project, theory should be clear, content should be clear, research है कि नहीं है, calculation part is there or no, presentation matters of their project. So they should know that if their presentation matters, so presentation उस तरह से करनी है. So whatever my instructor is expecting from me. So every point should be clear before them, whether it is project work, whether it is assignment work, whether it is exam time. So every time we have to give them the rubrics of the assessment. One another point regarding the assessment I would like to discuss here, that assessment can be for learning.
Harpreet ma'am, Chandan sir.
I think network problem is there.
Yes.
Assessment for learning and assessment of learning. Assessment for learning is continuous process, as it is formative process. It is along with the teaching process. And it is students' progress and learning needs. Students are involved in this assessment process, while the assessment of learning is teacher-oriented. Right? It certifies the students' competencies only. Means it is after the lecture is over. But assessment for learning is during the learning process. During the learning process, assessment for learning is there. So another point, that assessment for learning and assessment of learning, to make it more clear. So let us have a look on the differences between assessment for learning and assessment of learning. Just wait for a second, for a moment.
Yes. No, simulation. तो जब तक मैम करते हैं इसको ठीक, हम तब तक देखते हैं कि ओ लैब्स की सिमुलेशन जो है वो कैसे बच्चे को शो करती है. मेरी आवाज आ रही है जी आपको?
यस सर.
ओके, तो ओ लैब्स जो मैम ने अभी बताया है कि ओ लैब्स हम यूज कर सकते हैं, तो ओ लैब्स में हम कैसे प्रैक्टिकल्स बच्चों को दिखा सकते हैं, कैसे उसकी सिमुलेशन को दिखा सकते हैं. सो ये मैं आपको तब तक बता रहा हूँ. तो ये देखिए, हमने इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सेल को कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है. तो सबसे पहले हम टेम्परेचर यहाँ पे आपको शो हो रहा है, तो हम टेम्परेचर को सेट कर सकते हैं कि कितना टेम्परेचर हमें चाहिए. लेट अस से कि हम अपनी जो रीडिंग है वो 25 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड पे करेंगे. ठीक है. सो उसके बाद हम सिलेक्ट करेंगे एनोड एंड कैथोड. तो लेट अस से कि हमने जो इलेक्ट्रोड सिलेक्ट किया है वो जिंक का इलेक्ट्रोड सिलेक्ट कर लिया है. ठीक है. उसके बाद हम कॉन्सेंट्रेशन को सिलेक्ट करेंगे, दैट इज म्यूट कर लो, 0.1 मोलर. नेक्स्ट हम बात करेंगे कैथोड की. सो कैथोड जो है वो हमने सिलेक्ट कर लिया है कॉपर का, तो उसकी भी कॉन्सेंट्रेशन हमने 0.1 मोलर सिलेक्ट कर ली है. सो रिएक्शन क्या होगी, एनोड पे जिंक विल लूज इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड कॉपर कैथोड पे विल गेन इलेक्ट्रॉन. तो एनोड पे होगी ऑक्सीडेशन एंड कैथोड पे होगी रिडक्शन. सो यहाँ पे आपको वोल्ट मीटर की जो रीडिंग है वो आपको दिखाई दे रही है 1.100 वोल्ट. तो अगर हम जिंक और कॉपर की जो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है वो 0.1 मोलर लेंगे 25 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड पे, तब उसकी जो ई नॉट सेल आएगा, जो वोल्ट मीटर की रीडिंग आएगी, दैट इज 1.100 वोल्ट. इसी तरह से हम इसको रीसेट कर सकते हैं, हम कॉन्सेंट्रेशन को चेंज कर सकते हैं. लेट अस से मैंने जिंक की जो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है वो चेंज कर दी. जिंक की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन मैंने चेंज कर दी 0.03 मोलर, और कॉपर की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन मैंने सेम रखी है. तो देखो यहाँ पे वोल्ट मीटर की जो रीडिंग है वो चेंज हो गई है, दैट विल बिकम 1.115 वोल्ट. सिमिलरली अगर हम यहाँ पे जिंक की जगह पे उल्टा कर देते हैं, यहाँ पे सिल्वर रख देते हैं, तो सिल्वर और कॉपर को अगर हम कनेक्ट करते हैं तो जो वोल्ट मीटर की रीडिंग आ रही है वो नेगेटिव में आ रही है। तो नेगेटिव रीडिंग का मतलब क्या है कि सेल इज नॉट वर्किंग। यहाँ पे सिल्वर को हम एनोड नहीं ले सकते, हम कॉपर को कैथोड नहीं ले सकते। हाँ, अगर हम इसको उल्टा कर लेते हैं, यहाँ पे कॉपर रख लेते हैं और दूसरी जगह पे कैथोड पे हम रख लेते हैं सिल्वर, तो वोल्ट मीटर की जो रीडिंग है वो आपको दिखाई दे रही है 0.446 एट आर गिवन कॉन्सेंट्रेशन। तो हम कॉन्सेंट्रेशन को चेंज करते जाएंगे और अपनी जो रीडिंग है वो हमारी चेंज होती जाएगी। देखो अब यहाँ पे क्या आ गया, 0.430 वोल्ट आ गई है हमारी रीडिंग। तो इस तरह से हम ओ लैब्स की सिमुलेशन जो है वो हम यूज कर सकते हैं हम। ठीक है, सेकेंड वाले का था। सो सेकेंड सिमुलेशन जो है ओ लैब की वो हमारे पास है ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर से रिलेटेड। सो 1 सेकेंड, हाँ, तो ये हमारे पास ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर के लिए जो हम एक्सपेरिमेंट सेटअप करते हैं वो है हमारे पास। इसका हम क्रॉस सेक्शनल व्यू सिलेक्ट कर लेते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हमें इनिशियली सेट करना पड़ेगा अपनी पिन को। तो यहाँ पे हमने इनिशियल उसको सेट कर लिया है। अब हम पेट्री डिश में और पोटैटो के अंदर शुगर की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन को सिलेक्ट करते हैं। अगर तो शुगर की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बराबर है 15%, तब तो आपको पता है कि आइसोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन है, देन मूवमेंट ऑफ सॉल्वेंट विल नॉट टेक प्लेस। बट अगर हम यहाँ पे चेंज कर देते हैं, लेट अस से हमने यहाँ पे सोल्यूशन कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ शुगर 0 कर दिया, ठीक है, इसका मतलब बाहर हमारे पास क्या है, प्योर सॉल्वेंट है। तो यहाँ पे अगर हम प्योर सॉल्वेंट यूज कर लेते हैं, देन विल स्टार्ट द सिमुलेशन। तो आफ्टर 2 hours इट विल शो अस रीडिंग। सो देखो यहाँ पे 2 hours के बाद यहाँ पे हमने इसको कनेक्ट कर दिया। तो देखो यहाँ पे लेवल ऑफ शुगर इंक्रीजेस। तो हम इस तरह से बच्चे को समझा सकते हैं। और अगर हम उल्टा कर लेते हैं, लेट अस इसको रीसेट करते हैं इसको। सो अगर हम बाहर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन को 15% रखें और शुगर के पोटैटो के अंदर शुगर की जो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है वो 10 कर देते हैं, लेट अस से, और क्रॉस सेक्शनल व्यू इसका देखें और स्टार्ट करते हैं इसको। सो 2 hours के बाद जो लेवल्स है वाटर का वो देखिए आप यहाँ पे नीचे आना शुरू हो गया है। तो अब यहाँ पे जो लेवल है पिन का वो पहले से नीचे है, क्योंकि अब जो सॉल्वेंट है वो बाहर की ओर मूव कर रहा है, क्योंकि पोटैटो के अंदर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कम है और बाहर जो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है शुगर की वो ज्यादा है। तो इस तरह से हम ओ लैब्स की जो सिमुलेशंस हैं वो शो कर सकते हैं।
Yes.
Sorry for interruption in between, just due to some electricity issue. So just in between, Chandan sir has shown that the use of online labs and simulations that we can use in our teaching method. So try to implement those simulations from online labs. So we were discussing about the assessment part of CBE, that assessment for learning, assessment of learning, and assessment as learning. So see, there are some differences between assessment for learning and of learning. Here in assessment for learning, teachers, students, parents are the primary users. But in assessment of learning, teachers, principals, supervisors, program planners, and policy makers are the primary users. For learning, assessment for learning is during learning part. Side by side, we are using that assessment for learning, just as formative assessment जो हम करते आए हैं. Assessment of learning is after learning. जब हमारा चैप्टर खत्म हो गया, so just we are taking the test, final exam हो गए, unit test हो गए, class test हो गए, periodic test हो गए, like that. So there is always a chance of improvement in assessment for learning. We can guide our student that where he is weak and where he is poor, and he or she can improve his or her concepts. So, but assessment of learning is final. वी हैव रैंकिंग, सॉर्ट कर लिया स्टूडेंट्स को, रैंकिंग पर आ गए, रिपोर्ट कार्ड बन गए, रैंक तैयार हो गए, फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड पोजीशन परसेंटेज तैयार होगी, दैट इज द असेसमेंट ऑफ लर्निंग. इट इज पीरियोडिक एंड असेसमेंट फॉर लर्निंग इज कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस. Peer assessment है using rubrics with students, descriptive feedback, or periodic assessment, that is assessment of learning, which is always at the end of learning, state assessment, unit test, like that. And assessment as learning. Assessment as learning focuses on students and emphasizes assessment as a process of metacognition, knowledge of one's own thought process for students. It is student oriented, it is student driven process. Students reflect on their own work on a regular basis, usually through self and peer assessment, and decide what their next learning will be. So it helps the students to take more responsibility for their own learning and monitoring their own future directions. So this is assessment as learning, it is student driven. So usually teachers use assessment for learning and assessment of learning for assessing the students. So these are the basic parts of CBE that we have discussed. That competency based education, it involves learning outcomes, right, as it is outcome based approach of education. Then to attain those learning goals or to achieve those learning outcomes, we can select the suitable teaching strategy, that is pedagogy. Then after selecting pedagogy and learning outcomes, we have to assess the students that whether they have attained those learning goals or no. So where we are going to implement CBE now, how we are going to frame the lesson plan, proper lesson plan. Now lesson plan will be displayed to you just on the basis of CBE. Chandan sir will be sharing that lesson plan with you that has been framed according to CBE, right? So sir, please.
Can I take a minute, Harpreet, here? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when you explained assessment as learning very beautifully, you have to clarify that assessment as learning is in the center stage of CBE, because students are clear about their learning outcomes. So when the student assesses himself, that is learning as assessment as learning, right? Because it's a process of learning. When he assesses himself again and again, then he checks whether I have reached those outcomes, whether I have acquired those outcomes or not, right? Yes. So that is why here we have been using assessment of learning for long. It is a traditional method. We started using assessment for learning that is as formative assessment in CCE, but now in CBE, the assessment as learning comes in the center stage, where the child, taking the onus of his own learning, the learning responsibility of his own learning, can use assessment as learning, whether he has achieved those learning outcomes or not. Yes. Right? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, please, Chandan, continue. Yes. Yeah.
So, lesson plan में हमने topic लिया है electrochemical cell and electrochemical series. तो सबसे पहले जैसे मैम ने आपको बताया कि हम शुरुआत करते हैं learning objectives से. So after going through the lectures, students will be able to identify the site of reduction and oxidation by selecting cathode and anode from reduction potential values. And once he identifies the site of reduction and oxidation, he can calculate the cell voltage from the given standard reduction potential values. और अगर उसको EMF calculate करना आ गया, then he can predict the feasibility of the reaction, whether the reaction is feasible or not. And lastly, he can apply the concept of electrochemical cell in the daily life. So इसके जो टीचिंग स्ट्रेटेजीज हम यूज करेंगे, तो वो मैम ने आपको जैसे बताया कि सबसे पहले हम टीचर्स की वीडियो भेजेंगे. तो टीचर्स डेली लाइफ के एग्जांपल्स यूज करके ही कैन एक्सप्लेन द कॉन्सेप्ट. उसके बाद हम ओ लैब, जैसे मैंने आपको ओ लैब की सिमुलेशन दिखाई है, तो हर टॉपिक को क्लियर करने के लिए, प्रैक्टिकली उसको करके दिखाने के लिए हम ओ लैब की सिमुलेशंस यूज कर सकते हैं. उसके अलावा हमारे पास है ई पाठशाला. सो ई पाठशाला कैसे खुलता है वो मैं आपको एक बार बताता हूँ. तो ये ई पाठशाला, इसमें हम हमारे पास पूरी एनसीईआरटी की बुक जो है वो खुल जाती है। तो हम स्टूडेंट्स को उसके लिंक भेज सकते हैं, हम पेज नंबर मेंशन करके बता सकते हैं। यहाँ पे जैसे इंडेक्स क्वेश्चन आया है टॉपिक से रिलेटेड 3.10, 3.11, 3.12, तो हम बच्चों को इंडेक्स क्वेश्चन के बारे में बता सकते हैं, हम टॉपिक्स के बारे में बता सकते हैं। जैसे यहाँ पे बैटरीज और सेल्स हैं, इनके बारे में हम बच्चों को बता सकते हैं। इस पेज पे एनसीईआरटी के इस लिंक पे आप जाके ये खोल सकते हो। सो ई पाठशाला जो है वो एनसीईआरटी रेडीमेड एनसीईआरटी है या ऑनलाइन एनसीईआरटी है, जो कि बच्चे अपने घर पे बैठ के देख सकते हैं। बिकॉज लॉकडाउन के कारण उनके पास एनसीईआरटी अवेलेबल नहीं, तो हम ई पाठशाला जैसे ही खोलेगा बच्चा तो उसके पास एनसीईआरटी जो है वो बिल्कुल बुक की तरह ही ये पेजेस जो है खुले शुरू हो जाएंगे। तो इस तरह से ई पाठशाला जो है वो हम यूज कर सकते हैं। तो उसके बाद जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि दीक्षा प्लेटफॉर्म जो है वो हमारे पास अवेलेबल है। दीक्षा ऐप के अंदर हम एनसीईआरटी ने ढेर वीडियोस जो है वो डाल के रखी हुई है टॉपिक से रिलेटेड। सो वी कैन आल्सो सेंड द लिंक्स ऑफ दोस वीडियोस। We can also use Tata Class Edge for the chapter quiz and the videos. नेक्स्ट पार्ट हमारा आता है लेसन प्लान में असेसमेंट का। सो असेसमेंट हमारी इस तरह की होनी चाहिए कि हमारे जो लर्निंग आउटकम्स हैं वो असेसमेंट के अंदर कवर हो सके। तो जैसे यहाँ पे हमने ट्राई किया एक लेसन प्लान के अंदर असेसमेंट जो होने की, तो यहाँ पे क्या है कि हमने स्टैंडर्ड रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल की वैल्यूज दे दी। और फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन में हमने बच्चे से आइडेंटिफाई कैथोड एंड एनोड एंड साइट ऑफ ऑक्सीडेशन एंड रिडक्शन करने के लिए बोला। सो इसमें हमारे पास लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव जो है वो कवर हो जाता है। आइडेंटिफाई द साइट ऑफ ऑक्सीडेशन एंड रिडक्शन बाय सिलेक्टिंग एनोड एंड कैथोड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल वैल्यूज। सेकंड क्वेश्चन है कि अगर वो रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल की वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट कर लेता है तो उसको इनॉट सेल कैलकुलेट करना आना चाहिए। तो यहाँ पे रिडॉक्स कपल्स दे रखे हैं, 4 रिडॉक्स कपल्स दिए हुए हैं, तो उसको इनॉट सेल कैलकुलेट करना है। तो इससे भी हमारा लर्निंग आउटकम्स जो कवर हो रहा है वो पहले एनोड और कैथोड को करेगा। जब एनोड और कैथोड को सिलेक्ट करेगा उसके बाद ही कैन कैलकुलेट सेल पोटेंशियल। तो यहाँ पे हमारा कैलकुलेट वाला जो सेल पोटेंशियल कैलकुलेट वाला जो लर्निंग आउटकम है वो भी कवर हो जाएगा। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है थर्ड क्वेश्चन। अगर बच्चे को इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल कैलकुलेट करना आ गया देन ही कैन प्रेडिक्ट फिजिबिलिटी ऑफ द रिएक्शन। सो इस क्वेश्चन में वो बताएगा कि whether the reaction is feasible or not. And fourth question is application based. So यहाँ पे 4 हाउसहोल्ड अप्लायंसेस देखे हैं जिसमें बच्चों को टाइप ऑफ बैटरी बतानी है और उसके अंदर कौन कौन से इलेक्ट्रोड यूज हो रहे हैं वो बताने हैं। सो दिस क्वेश्चन हेल्प्स द स्टूडेंट्स टू अप्लाई द कांसेप्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सेल इन डेली लाइफ।
This is another sample.
So next हमारे पास जी टाइम एक्चुअली मैं टाइम ही देख रहा था। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास जो सैंपल लेसन प्लान है वो ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर एंड ऑस्मोसिस का है। तो इसको हम कवर करने की कोशिश करते हैं थोड़े टाइम में। So learning outcomes of this topic will be demonstrate the process of osmosis and osmotic pressure, establish the relation between osmotic pressure and molar mass, calculate the molar mass of solute, predict the nature of solution, whether isotonic, hypotonic or hypertonic, and you can apply the concept of osmosis in daily life. तो इसके लिए जो हम पेडागोजी यूज करेंगे वो हो सकता है कि हम स्टार्टिंग करें अपने क्वेश्चन से कि why linked carrot becomes firm again by placing it in water or why raisin swells when placed in water। तो ऐसे छोटे से क्वेश्चन पूछ के हम बच्चों को शुरुआत कर सकते हैं हमारे टीचिंग स्ट्रेटेजी की, मतलब प्लान की। सो लर्निंग आउटकम्स जो है वो सबसे पहले हम शेयर करेंगे, उसी तरह से टीचर की वीडियो शो होगी, ओ लैब की सिमुलेशन जैसे मैंने आपको पहले दिखाई है ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर की वो हम एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं, ई पाठशाला यूज कर सकते हैं, टाटा एज यूज कर सकते हैं। और उसके बाद हमारे पास है असेसमेंट पार्ट। असेसमेंट पार्ट में सबसे पहले मैंने एक क्वेश्चन ऐसा फ्रेम किया है कि एक्टिविटी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, तो बच्चा वो परफॉर्म भी करेगा घर पे, उसकी पिक्चर्स लेगा और उसकी ऑब्जर्वेशन नोट करेगा और उसको अपने क्लास व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे सेंड करेगा। और आफ्टर कंडक्टिंग द एक्सपेरिमेंट स्टूडेंट्स विल बी एबल टू डेमोंस्ट्रेट द प्रोसेस ऑफ ऑस्मोसिस। He can predict the nature of the solution, whether hypotonic and hypertonic. And with this activity, student will also be able to document the observation. And next question is topics related to numerical. Calculate the osmotic molar mass of urea, 5% urea solution if the osmotic pressure is 18.68. So in this, student will be able to establish a relation between osmotic pressure and the molar mass, and he can calculate the molar mass of solute. Next question is application based. So, why does gargling of salt, gargling with salt water provides relief when you have sore throat? So, this is application based. He can apply the process of osmosis in day-to-day life. Again, application based question. Great care is taken while giving intravenous injection because human RBCs are isotonic with normal saline solution. So what do you expect if RBCs are placed in 1% NaCl solution or 0.5% NaCl solution? So अगर बच्चे को hypertonic और hypotonic का concept clear है, so he can apply this concept and can answer this question. Thank you.
So I think now it is clear to all of us that I think now it is clear to all of us that what kind of change in teaching methodology we are expected to bring about. So how to frame the lesson plan according to CBE by integrating learning outcomes, and what kind of learning outcomes can be there, should be there, and what kind of pedagogy we can select on the basis of learning outcomes, and what kind of assessment we can frame it out just within this time tenure that we were given with. So just in the beginning of the session, just as I shared with you that I hope so, and I'm sure that today we are all going to take away something new in our hands, and I'm sure that we are going to take away something new that you can tell only. Before I finish my session, just I would like to again just say a few lines from one beautiful poem that हम सबने भी शिक्षक बनने का सुअवसर पाया है, हम सबने भी शिक्षक बनने का सुअवसर पाया है, बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेवारी को हमने गले लगाया है। आओ हम संकल्प करें कि अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, अपने प्यारे भारत को हम जगत गुरु बनाएंगे, अपने शिक्षक होने का हर पल अभिमान करेंगे, अपने शिक्षक होने का हर पल अभिमान करेंगे, इस समाज में हम भी अपना शिक्षा दान करेंगे, इस समाज में हम सब अपना शिक्षा दान करेंगे। And at last, so I would our sincere thanks to our principal, ma'am, Dr. Rashmi Vij, for her kind assistance throughout. Thank you so much, ma'am. Without her guidance, it would not have been possible to come up with today's presentation. And our special thanks to Sir Yogesh Gambhir sir for his kind support throughout. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
I encourage participants to please ask questions.
Yes, anything to ask from participants?
I think teaching and pedagogy is the same thing.
Yes, ma'am, that is teaching strategy that we are using to attain the learning outcomes. What kind of learning outcomes we have framed, according to that only we can select the teaching method. That how can we attain those learning outcomes?
So hello everybody, I want to congratulate Harpreet and Chandan for a very good presentation. I'm really happy and satisfied. Whenever somebody gives a good presentation, I as a teacher get the feedback that the learning was good. So I really enjoyed the session, and the lesson plan shares were also effective. Now, a message for all the participants that you also take up any topic, and especially the topic which has to be still taught in the classes, and make a sample lesson plan, including the LOs and the pedagogy and the assessment, and link your assessment with the LOs as to which LO is being covered by or assessed by or measured by which assessment, and send those to Harpreet and Chandan, and the best ones they will forward to me and to Mr. Yogesh. Thank you so much. I hope it was good and everybody learned a lot. Thank you. I acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Anu Verma, Principal of Police DAV Ludhiana, who has also joined the webinar, and I thank her for her presence, and I also thank Mr. Yogesh for his support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I also welcome Anu ma'am from Ludhiana and all the teachers from Ludhiana and Amritsar and Patiala. And thank you very much, resource persons and all the participants. So link has already been shared in the chat box for attendance and feedback form. So all the participants of our zone and the schools of other zone also, they are requested to please fill that form. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you, Yogesh sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So participants can send the lesson plan on the email ID that Chandan sir is sending you. So you have to make one lesson plan that ma'am has told you, that please send on the given ID that Chandan sir is going to share with all of you. We'll be waiting for your response. We'll be waiting for your lesson plans.
So he has shared his ID in the chat box. Please note his ID so that you can send your lesson plans to that ID. And you can select any topic from 11th or 12th. It's your own choice. But it should be on the same format. Those who have filled up the feedback and attendance form, they may leave the meeting, please. Or in case you want to ask something, you may ask. Those who have filled the feedback form, they may leave the meeting, please.
Weight is 44.5. 2 kilo. From today onwards.
So once again, thank you very much, everyone, resource persons and all the participants. So I hope
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your support, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, Chinky ma'am, please end the meeting.
Okay,
Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.